When most of us meet a new neighbor for the first time, it's usually over a cup of coffee or during a neighborhood cookout.
But for one family in Onalaska, a chance first meeting recently with a new neighbor couldn't have come at a better time. And as News 8's Martha Kolosky tells us, it's a first meeting they'll never forget.
Brooke and Jake Hoff recently moved to a new home in Onalaska with their 3 kids. And just like any young family, dinner time at the Hoffs can get a little hectic. Brooke was at home with her 7-year-old Talon and 1.5-year-old Finley this past April. She was busy making dinner when Finley decided to try some dog food out of their dog's dish.
I was cooking at the stove, and then Talon was eating supper, and then he said, "Mom, Finley's got dog food in her mouth."
In a single moment, their routine evening would become anything but.
And I started to beat on her back, thinking, she's got one still in her mouth, and thinking it would come out. And nothing, and then it started getting worse.
Brooke quickly realized she needed help.
911, what's your address?
We have a choking child.
How old is she?
She's a year and a half.
Okay.
As she waited for paramedics to arrive, Brooke knew precious minutes were ticking away.
Seeing your child not breathing, which was very hard.
Brooke wasn't having any luck clearing Finley's airway, so she ran outside looking for help, and her luck was about to change.
I saw a black vehicle coming up the road, and I thought I was waving the person down. I just thought somebody can help me, and the vehicle stopped. The person jumped out, and I can't remember what I yelled. I asked, "Do you know CPR?" or, "I need help," or something.
But this wasn't just any passerby. It was one of her new neighbors she'd never met.
Yeah, I was just driving down the street and minding my own business when out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman running straight towards my car down her driveway. And that caught my eye, and I turned and looked, and I could immediately tell that something was wrong.
This Good Samaritan was Dr. Bob Groshek, an anesthesiologist at Gunderson Health System.
Because I knew she was choking on something, the first thing I did was start pounding on her back to try to relieve the obstruction. Unfortunately, that didn't work. My palm print was all over her back. I think totally, I probably struck her on her back about 30 times.
Dr. Groshek admits the situation didn't look good and was worried too much time was passing.
Nothing seemed to be working. Everything I was doing, it didn't seem to work, and I was getting kind of scared and desperate at that point.
And then one more car happened to come down the street, and as odds would have it, it was Dr. Groshek's wife.
She was very comforting as well, and we just both sat there and prayed together.
Dr. Groshek knew he couldn't stop trying.
I continued to do these chest compressions, and just out of the blue, she took a gasping breath. And it was a very clear and obvious breath. In retrospect, I think it was a miracle.
So whether you chalk it up to luck or something more miraculous, the Hoff family doesn't plan on taking any chances in the future. They made an important family decision since this close call.
Myself and my husband and even my mom who watches her and my mother-in-law are all going to be signing up for CPR classes.
In Onalaska, I'm Martha Kolosky for News 8.
Luckily, after a night's stay in the hospital, Finley was allowed to go home the next day and given a clean bill of health. But ER doctors say kids eating dog food is a common hazard in homes, so you'll want to keep it off of the floor if you have little ones around.
Yeah, because they'll go after it. Little ones get their hands on everything.
I had a little one that did that all the time.
If you'd like to take a CPR course yourself, which includes instruction for choking victims, you can always take a class through the Scenic Bluffs chapter of the American Red Cross. Just go to their website for class sign-up dates and times.